We're here at the Citadel de Quebec. This is where the Vendus, the 22nd Regiment, is based. It's also the Quebec home of the Governor General. But this has been really a key military installation since the French controlled this territory back in the 17th century was when they first put troops up here. And then the British eventually acquired it and fortified it, built up the fortifications here as a way of keeping the Americans out of Canada. So pretty poignant image given what's going on right now. I want to show you, just to give you a little bit of travelogue here. You can see this is, it looks out over the St. Lawrence River, so obviously a very key strategic location. And as you can see, a busy shipping route now today. And it's right next, just down a little bit further away, is the Plains of Abraham, where the British and the French battled, Wolf and Montcalm, and then there is the Chateau Frontenac, one of the most visible Fairmont hotels in the entire country. So as I say, it's a pretty poignant image to hold this cabinet retreat here, given everything that has happened recently. And of course, Carney coming back to Canada now after being a 9-day trip abroad, going to China, where he signed the agreement to have them lift or release, dramatically reduce the tariffs on Canadian grown canola, as well as allowing them a limited amount, 49,000 vehicles initially, of Chinese-made EVs to come in to Canada at a much lower tariff rate than the 100% previously imposed. So this is what Carney is going to have to talk to his cabinet about today, is the implications of that. And of course, as you mentioned, that speech that is getting so much attention that Carney gave in Davos the other day, and obviously clearly provoked Donald Trump. So the cabinet is going to want to know, what are the implications of this now for our ongoing discussions over trade and tariffs with the Americans. Of course, it looks like the negotiation to have the sectoral tariffs on steel, aluminum, softwood lumber, automobiles, that has kind of gone into a deep freeze right now. And the Canadian side and the American side both preparing instead for the scheduled mandated review of the CUSMA agreement, the USMCA agreement. So they're going to have to talk about that. Obviously, placating Ontario is going to be a real issue too, because we know Doug Ford is really unhappy with the decision to allow Chinese EVs in. So there's going to be some discussion of that. But there's also a lot of domestic issues that the cabinet is going to have to deal with. Keep in mind, the House of Commons is coming back next week, so the government is going to have to get some of their legislative priorities through. They have several crime bills before Parliament they need to get passed. They also still have some of the legislation left over from the budget before Christmas. The budget implementation legislation is going to have to be passed as well. And that is going to require a majority vote in the House of Commons, because those things will automatically be considered money bills and be matters of confidence. So, of course, Carney is now 2 seats because of the resignation of Chrystia Freeland from her riding as MP for University of Rosedale. There was another vacancy in the House of Commons, so Carney is now 2 seats short of majority status, for the status he needs to get that legislation passed in the House. And there'll probably be some discussions amongst his cabinet about how they're going to get those bills through, and whether or not, Karen, they can attract more MPs from the opposition benches to come over to give them the support they need to stay in power.